The IRS recently issued Publication 590B, and here to talk with me about this is Bill Harris from WH Cornerstone Investments. Bill, welcome.
Hey, good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So the IRS has thrown a wrench here in the old proverbial wheel. Tell us about that.
So they have just a little kind of fun color commentary. When I wrote this book, I wrote it pre-Secure Act, and I kind of knew Secure Act was out there, but I thought I might get the book done before it happened. But before I ever went to print, it came out. I had to rewrite the whole book because of the Secure Act, and we're seeing changes again. So I think I wrote in the book like we may see changes of this. I remember my Ed Slott had once told me the Tax Reform Act of '86 wasn't made final till 17 years later. So we're going to be seeing changes in this area all the time. But one of the big changes was they did away with the stretch IRA. It used to be when someone inherited an IRA, they would take distributions over their life expectancy and they could really stretch it out. Secure Act did away with that, and they came up with this 10-year rule. And everyone just assumed the 10-year rule was like the 5-year rule. You could take out as little as much as you want during that 10-year period, but by year 10, you got to drain it all. Well, the IRS came out, this is mid-April of 2021, and they came out with Publication 590B, which is kind of the rules regarding this. And they gave examples. And what they're telling us that their interpretation of it is that they want you taking little RMDs along the way and then drain it in the 10th year. So it's a big change. A lot of people didn't think that was the case. Now, these are proposed regulations. There'll be comment periods, and it'll be a while before we see any final regulations. So I don't have an answer if that's going to stick or not. I don't know, but it's a big change. I mean, everyone interpreted the 10-year rule is, hey, you don't have to touch anything year 10. You got to drain it all. But now it's looking like there's going to be RMDs along the way.
Yeah. So from an actionable advice perspective, there's nothing that people should do right away until the rule is more clarified.
Well, I've talked to other people. Most people saying wait, but I think if you had if you were in a situation and you had under these new proposed regs, I would, and it's heading into December and there wasn't clarity, I would probably take an RMD just to be compliant. I mean, it doesn't kill everything, but at least you're being compliant with what they're telling us they want it to go. So, but I would certainly wait as long as you can into this year and then make a decision based on, what if we might get guidance from the IRS between then and now.
Yeah. And what's your thought about what's the thinking behind the IRS going in this direction versus what everyone thought the direction should be?
I'm joking. Job security. Let's make it more complicated. So I don't really know what they're thinking. Truthfully, I think Congress passes these laws and then they kind of interpret it. And so I think they're just, and I'm sure with COVID and everything else, they're running crazy schedules and working from home and all that kind of stuff. And so my guess is the comment period is going to be a real healthy period for them to kind of digest this. And so, I mean, as a practitioner, if that's the rule, that's the rule. You got to take out a little RMD, and then the 10th year, it kind of like, I think once people know what the rules are, then they can plan around it. But this kind of, it's up in the air stuff is crazy.
Yeah, certainly the uncertainty of it all creates a little bit of uncertainty about what to do. So,
yeah, I mean, the rule, like, I love the Secure Act. I thought it made it simpler, it just made it easier. And now it seems it's getting more complicated again. So I guess that gives me job security.
And me as well. I'm always fond of saying that retirement, it sounds easy, but oftentimes it's complicated. It's filled with contradictions. It's confusing. And, hopefully we're here to help people sort through some of those contradictions and confusion and complexity.
Just got a call yesterday from a person who's the head of HR for a local nursing home. And she reached out to me, and it was a personal situation. Her mom had died 2 years ago. So she's getting to stretch that IRA she inherited. And then her dad died last year. And now she's, under the 10-year thing. And it's like, well, hold on a second. That 10-year thing might be changing. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that, come the end of the year, if we don't have guidance, they're going to have to make some decisions. And my personal thing is if they don't give us any guidance and they don't change it, and that's looking like how they want to do it, I would be inclined to take an RMD just to be safe.
Well, Bill, I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom about this topic. It will help a good many people. I know that for sure.